Also, what I forgot to mention is that here in this workflow, we put also in this light blue cyan color, we put marks everywhere where client needs to give us some information. So the client, when they look at this whole process, when they see this blue text and blue icons, it means that in these phases they need to give us some very important information so we can proceed with the design. For example, here, of course, after taking a look at the brief and everything, we are making a cost estimate for this product. Cost estimates can differ. Everything is flexible. It depends. Is it product? Is it a line of products? How many products we are doing design? Are these products premium or low segment? And after creating the cost estimate, we need clients, of course, to approve this cost estimate, usually by mail. And this is something very, very important step in concluding every deal. So when we have approval, then we can start with a design proposal. First step, we usually make up to 3 proposals of design for our clients, and we make a 3D model presentation that will be a preview of the design on a finished product. In this phase, it is I will repeat again, very important to use color management and color consistency, because this 3D visualization or a mock-up or whatever you show to the client has to be something that is realistical and something that can be produced, and this final print has to be 95%, let's say, similar to what you show to the client. There are various techniques and to do this in a proper way, but usually it's using consistent color management in your software, using quality displays and calibrated displays, and presentation to the client, of course. Usually we do it by creating print proofs, color print proofs. These are special machines that print 99% match close to the final printing documents. In the next phase, there is a process of design adoption. Client is selecting one of 3 proposals, one of 3 different designs. After that, when they approve this design, we are making final fine-tuning corrections. So we have usually up to 3 passes of corrections for selected design. Why only 3 passes? Because sometimes client will tell you, okay, now move logo a little bit left. Then in the next pass, they tell you, okay, now put this font a little bit smaller. Then in the next pass, they tell you, okay, change the background, and it can last forever. And for you, from the production perspective and from the creative perspective, can be really time consuming. If every time you need to change something in the design, to create a new 3D render, to package up the preview files, to send to the client, and etc. So it is very important to educate clients that this is a very time consuming and complicated process, so they can so they have to put as much as more they have suggestions in a one pass of the corrections. So for, let's say, for optimization of the process, and for sometimes can be really time consuming, and these corrections can last forever. And after the final adoption of the design, this phase involves creating print-ready files. This is a final print-ready file that you send later for printing, and it has to be tailored to a specific printing method. So client information is very necessary and very important to create this document. So here we put emphasized what we need from the client in order to create this document. So first of all, technical drawing, layout, or die lines. Also, sometimes we ask for this even before, even in this first phase, let's say second phase, third phase, when we're trying to start with a design proposal. Client need to give you the precise document, the dimensions of the packaging, so you can position elements properly. If they change it in one point, then you have to reposition everything. It is also time consuming. Later on, text, declaration text, this is also very important. You have to get from the client very precise and, of course, electronic documents without grammar errors and similar, so you can just copy paste the declaration text in prepress files. And also here we put some limited passes for declaration of text corrections. It means that clients should be careful when creating declaration texts and not change it later on in this design phases. And at the end, there is a print proofing phase. This means the design is checked, double checked, that all declaration texts are double checked, and that the file can go in a printing house and the printing can begin. Usually we go on the spot, we go in a printing house, so we can be there when we see the first sample goes out from the machine. And of course, sometimes we do some minor corrections to make it even look better, more better, or sometimes we just make sure there are no any errors. It happens sometimes in printing houses. They, for example, they do not use proper Pantone color. They make some mistakes in using some additional techniques or similar. And this is where we also explain clients what is necessary to submissions, to submit, and when to do corrections and when what to approve. And it is also important to tell clients when they approve something that we cannot change later on. For example, when you come at the end to this phase, when the printing house sends you final prepress file, you just need to, then clients just need to do double check of the text declarations and other elements. And in this phase, it's not possible to change the design or the design direction. So this would be like starting from the beginning. Of course, it is possible, but for some, it will just raise the cost of the design process. Here we have also categorized product design categories. So first we have base design, then we have mutation and adaptation. It means that base design means creating like first design and the first product in the line. Mutation means creating other products in the same line, and adaptation means that we create products in different forms of packaging or different dimensions. This is, you see, the same design, it's just applied different type of packaging. Here we have also some necessary information for the client, so they can know like how many phases we have in how many corrections they can have and how many time we have for every phase. And in these two parts, we explain that it is very important to send us proper texts, so there are no any mistakes And of course, we are not responsible for any mistakes in text if they make any. And of course, technical drawings should be sent in a proper format so we can open it and place our design accordingly. These are some deadlines. So today, usually big companies want they want full services, and if you can give them like not only design, so we developed also another print management segment of our business, and then we offer our clients full support in print and full support in packaging production. So besides packaging design, we offer them also production of and printing of packaging. So we manage the whole process, and the client gets the final printed product in their factory. Of course, we do this by partnerships with big major printing houses in the Balkans, and we make sure to have a color consistency, because when cooperating with these big printing houses, we use special curves and special settings for color management, so we can match with their machines and their printing standards. And here there are some also important important suggestions for clients: how to do a briefing, how to do corrections, how to communicate with us, how to share information, deadlines. Also very important, proofing and responsibility. You have to make sure that you are not responsible for, especially for text on the back of the labels. These texts should be double checked by responsible persons in the factory, persons who are technologists or similar, who understand all these laws and rules in declaring nutritional data, ingredients of the products and everything. So this is not the responsibility of the agency. Responsibility of the agency is design, colors, and color consistency, printing, and similar things. And usually when we are starting to partnership with one company or producer, usually we have one meeting where we go through uh, all of these processes, because usually if you just send this to a client, they're not gonna read it, they're not gonna go through it. You have to make sure they understand everything, and even after that, again, we have some issues, but when you have already defined workflow, then it's easier for clients to understand and uh, to make sure how to communicate with the agency. Okay, now I will share you also my screen to show you one typical project workflow from the production side of the view, creative side of the view. Just a second. Okay, everything is ready. Okay, here is the design for a new product. It's called Splash Protection Frying Filter. It's used for uh, people cooking in kitchens, and as you can see, I think it is obvious what is it for. It's used for protecting your oven and then kitchen from grease splashes when baking something and cooking food. So to produce this design is ought to be packaged in a flexography printing foil in a pouch in a bag. And first we did a 3D model of this frying pan and created a photo compositing in Photoshop and Blender. Then we used Blender to simulate how this product will look at the end. And what is also important, we used it to simulate this matte metallic effect, because this bag will be in a material where we will have also aluminum foil. And this aluminum foil, when combined with matte foil, will create, and of course, some color printed over it, will create this matte metallic effect. So in our design workflow, we simultaneously do design in Illustrator. Of course, we do photo compositing in Photoshop. Then we go to Blender to see a preview of how the project, the packaging will look like. And for example, here we can easily simulate finishing printing techniques. So for example, here, if we wanted to be printed on a foil that is not made foil, it's shiny foil, you can see immediately the difference in the reflections. The foil. Also, if we are not going to use metallized foil, you can see immediately that also the appearance of the orange color will change. And also here we can simulate different lights. So it depends where you position your product, how it is going to look like. And of course, for all this, it is important to use the necessary color management system and to work closely with a printing house so they can provide you with a proper ICC profiles for color corrections and for consistent color preview.